Aloha to all of you. This is Seashell Surf. Grab that board. We're going on an adventure of a lifetime. We're off to the island of Hawaii, home of the volcano. We're going to get a connecting flight in Honolulu to take us to Hilo. You're looking out at beautiful Mauna Kea, Laupahoehoe Point, and we are down in Keaukaha at the shoreline. And we have a multitude of lokoi'a fish ponds, and these extend behind me up to the mountain area. So you have the fresh water pumping into the ocean water, making it brackish. And what do we have swimming in the pond? Are those ducks? Oh, beautiful. And there are the nene geese blessing the halavai over there. Halavai gathering. Hawaii Island has every type of weather landscape you can think of, from glaciation up at the top of Mauna Kea to rainforests, acid rain deserts, the tundras as well. Alpine. And alpine. That is pololei. That is correct. What a unique shoreline Hilo has. And the water here, this is ice cold water that comes down from Mauna Kea. And there are freshwater springs in these oceans from the lava tubes. And they're pumping up some fresh water. And they would take their ipu, the water gourds, and go into the ocean with them, and you could actually fill up your water gourd with some of those fresh water springs that are coming up in the ocean, like Kawaiakane, located in Waikoloa on the west side of Hawaii Island. I went there on a field trip and I cut my finger on the rock, and that's cool. That's cool. I got something to remember it by. Now, the deepest channel in the world is between Maui and Hawaii, the Ale Nui Ha channel. And that word, Ale Nui Ha, means the waves that are hitting the bow of your boat. Very indicative of what that channel is like. And it has the best marlin fishing in the channel. So you see, this island is less than 1 million years old, whereas Kauai is 4 to 5 million years old. We usually see, but these are the not sand beaches and not black sand beaches. They are rocky shorelines, not fresh lava fields, but what's left of them. And this area happens to be Hale'olono Fish Pond. It's being restored by the Edith Kanakaole Foundation. Edith Kanakaole was a kumuhula, a hula instructor, and very well known in the Hawaiian culture community. Her family continues that legacy today. Edith Kanakaole is on the new quarters, and she has the multi-purpose stadium named after her here in Hilo, in which the annual Merry Monarch Hula Festival is held. And by the way, kids, when you come here, no need bring your snorkel mask, because as I've been told, you don't want to see what's under there. Get some big eels down there. And some lobster. And the crabs. Hale'olono, the house of Lono. Lono is the god I sometimes often talk about, especially because of the Pele saga. Lono is a god, and one of his earthly forms is the half-man, half-pig. But Pele and the half-man, half-pig, Kamapua'a, they have a love-hate relationship. But Lono is the god of water and clouds, and anytime it rains, you want to bless the rain. And we just have beautiful forest here. Welcome to the jungle. We do have mongoose on the island of Hawaii. They were brought here for the sugarcane fields to get rid of the mice in the sugarcane fields. But obviously, it's been detrimental to, land, and now there's no sugar cane, but there are still mongoose. And we were at One Kaha Kaha. Here we are, looking out at Laupahoehoe Point. Another story about Pele and her half-man, half-pig boyfriend. Laupahoehoe Point is said to have been made because Pele was mad at Kamapua'a and chased him all the way down from the forest down to the ocean. You can see we have craters all along there, and this is what makes Big Island big. Look at the expansiveness of the mountain, the base. Now, Hilo sits between Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, so it's saddled in between.
freshwater ponds.
Freshwater nanaku, used for weaving. This is even a bigger patch of the nanaku. And this is all freshwater, boggy, and marsh-like environment. Hawaii Island is home to King Kamehameha I, who united the islands. During his mother's pregnancy with him, there were some unique things happening that led his mother to believe he was going to be a great chief. Not a very high rank based on his bloodline, but because of these symbols. Halley's Comet was in the sky. This was in the 1700s. His mother was craving the eye of, some say, a tiger shark and some say a chief. Either way, who's going to go get one of those? But the father must do so, or the child might not like the father. You must get what the mother is craving. King Kamehameha would unite the islands during a time when foreigners were coming to Hawaii. Great Britain and France had taken over at some point in time, and he knew that they needed to be united as not to lose their kingdom. King Kamehameha conquered the island of Hawaii first, and then Maui, Oahu, and when it came to Kauai, it was diplomatically done. And instead of bringing war to Kauai, King Kaumo'ali'i agreed to a peaceful unification. And we're now headed back towards Bayfront, and we're going down Banyan Drive. And in here there is they call it the abyss. It appears to have no bottom. You never know. This could be a very deep crater here, and of course there's a system of lava tubes. Now, just off to the southeast here where we are is the new volcano, the new island that will be forming, and it too, like Kilauea, is on the flank of Mauna Loa. Kamaehu Kanaloa was formerly known as Loihi. It's the height that Mount St. Helens was prior to its cataclysmic eruption in the 1980s. Mauna Loa is 13,679 feet, and Mauna Kea is around 13,800 feet, technically making it the highest mountain, but these two sit on the bottom of the ocean floor, and because they're so heavy, they press down on it. And it really makes the two of these Mauna, or mountains, the highest in the world, even higher than Mount Everest, because these are pressing down on the ocean floor. And further in the geological field of volcanoes, this shows that there is more than one hot spot that the Pacific Plate is moving over. And Banyan Drive is where the Hilo Hawaiian and the Naniloa Hotel are located. These are the two main hotels located in Hilo. In 1946 and 1960, Hilo was hit with tsunamis. The Pacific itself is susceptible to tsunamis because of the Pacific Plate moving in a northwest direction, and because we are the rim or the ring of fire. Major earthquake can set off a locally generated tsunami, and that has happened here. On Lanai, you can find coral blocks at the top of the mountains, and this happened as a result of a tsunami lifting coral blocks from the ocean floor and slamming them into Lanai. In the case of locally generated tsunamis, there's very little time to go upland. On May 22nd, 1960, a 9.5 magnitude earthquake from Chile generated a 35-foot wave tsunami that hit Hilo. That was the biggest earthquake to ever hit Chile. And just over here on the Wailuku Peninsula that we're on is Moku'ola. Moku means island, Ola means life, and this is known as the Island of Healing. People who suffered from some ailment would swim around the island 3 times for healing. This is also a pu'uhonua, or a city of refuge, where if you broke a kapu or a law, you could seek refuge here and correct the wrong. This is also an area in which, after a child's born, their pico or umbilical cord is usually buried somewhere. or placed into the crevices of rocks. You can see a pico rock on my Wailua Nui Ahoano videos. The reason why you would bury the pico is because you did not want the rats to bother the pico. Otherwise, your child might become a thief. So picos used to be buried under the flat stones here. The umbilical cord or pico are considered sacred. They do connect to their mother's bloodlines and basically to their ancestors as a whole. In the Hawaiian culture, there are 3 pico: your fontanelle, your belly button, and your reproductive area. Your pico at the top of your head represents the past and connects you to your ancestors. Your belly button pico connects you to the present and to your parents. And your private area connects you to the future generation, as that's where the future generation will come from. We're just off of the Queen Liliuokalani Park and Gardens. Here's a beautiful view of Mokuola and of Mauna Kea and Laupahoehoe Point. As King Kamehameha continued his quest to conquer the island of Hawaii, he lost a battle here in Hilo to a chief, and he was nuha, or upset about it, and so he came back to attack a small fishing village to retaliate. Upon doing so, as he was getting out of the canoe and onto the lava field shoreline, he got his foot stuck in a crevice, and a fisherman who went to defend the village hit him so hard in the head that it splintered the paddle. King Kamehameha could have retaliated by having the man killed. However, he took this as an opportunity to see that people were not safe while they were traveling, especially old folks and young people. So he thought to himself, people have a right to defend themselves, but people traveling also have a right to feel safe on their travels. So he created the law of the splintered paddle, Ke Kanawai Ma Malahoi. In 1797, this was an official law for the Kingdom of Hawaii. This royal edict was included in the 1976 state constitution to show that Hawaii had concern for the safety and welfare of the people. Another part of King Kamehameha history is the Naha stone, which is a huge slab of rock. These huge slabs of rock that King Kamehameha lifted, once again showing how much mana or spiritual power that he possessed. And again, because of his bloodline, he wasn't considered a very high-ranking chief. So in the presence of his favorite wife, and perhaps many others of the 20 wives that he had, at least in front of Ka'ahumanu, his favorite wife, he always had to strip down, and he could never have his head higher than hers. So she was of higher rank than he was.
We're at Big Island Candies. Treat yourself.
Oh, there it is! Monona Mart. Pick up your candies today. But I don't remember all. I remember the dotted shoreline of FISHPONDS, but not in that much. but lo'a ke kai ka'ena ma Kauai, yeah?
Oh.
So, noho ka nurse practitioner.
Oh.
Hele oia I Kauai, and lo'a ka manawa luia. We're here at the spectacular Wailuku River. This is the area called Boiling Pots, or traditionally Pe'e. The boiling pots are in the riverbed here. They are vertical columns that formed as the lava cooled in the riverbeds, and as the water is rushing over them, it appears as if they are pots on a stove boiling. Wailuku is the second longest river in Hawaii, and it is the river that flows at the border between Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. And this area is also known for a very famous mo'olelo, or story. Behind the waterfall is a cave. Hina, mother of the demigod Maui, was said to live there. She was constantly being tormented by a mo'o, a lizard named Kuna. One day Kuna was able to toss a rock down and block the cave so that it would flood with water. Hina called for her son Maui, and he arrived on the beach in a canoe, and he came up and battled Kuna, the mo'o. He won, but only temporarily. Not being able to get rid of the mo'o permanently, Maui went to Pele and asked her for kokua, or help. So she sent lava down, which caused the water to boil, and Kuna at last was dead. And we're going to take a look at the Wailuku River from a higher elevation. Okay, you can go. Ia no o Kamapua o ia kana wahine me kona mau keiki. Kana mau keiki. A olia nei. Oh. Aloha e na pua'a. And here we have Kamapua'a and his beautiful wife and children. And the pig represents one of the four major gods, Lono. He is a benevolent god of clouds, water, and in his human form, not only is he the pig, but he comes as the half-man, half-pig. That is, again, Pele's love-hate relationship boyfriend. Of course, you cannot be in Pele's home on the volcano island without encountering Kamapua'a. Seashell Surf Adventures is filmed entirely on location in Hawaii. I want to thank all of you for joining me, Seashell Surf, on this spectacular adventure to the island of Hawaii. And stay tuned, because there's more videos coming from the island of Hawaii. If you're enjoying the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all notifications, and be sure to share the Aloha videos with friends and family. As we say in Hawaii, until we meet again, a hui ho and aloha.